Let's start with a recap of some of the benefits that Play Billing brings. We help you in 4 areas. First, we give you access to users around the world. Second, we give you choices in how to monetize in your app. Third, we give you tools in how to optimize your purchase experience. And lastly, we make it all effortless, so you can focus on building a great user experience. Let me walk you through a few highlights in each of these areas. First, let's talk about how Play Billing gives you access to buyers around the world. Google Play reaches billions of users around the world in over 190 countries. That makes Google Play one of the world's largest mobile payments platforms. Since we've met last year, we've grown in a number of areas. We've added seller support in 31 new markets. Now, developers in 112 countries can now sell on Google Play. We continue to add new payment methods. We've extended our e-wallet support to over a dozen countries now. And in India, we're in the process of rolling out Unified Payments Interface, one of the most popular digital payments platforms in India. And lastly, we continue to invest in our carrier billing relationships. We now have partnerships with over 170 carriers, reaching over 1 billion active mobile devices. That means you can now sell to over 1 billion users on mobile devices with mobile accounts. They don't need a credit card, they don't need a bank account, they just need their phone. Now let's talk about how we give you choices in how to monetize. For a long time now, we've given you support in selling in-app purchases. So now where you can sell one-time items such as gems or swords. We offer subscriptions, so you can grant continued access to your content or service. And you can sell paid apps, where you collect a one-time payment up front before your user can download and install your app. A couple of months ago, we launched rewarded products. Over 1,000 of you have already started using rewarded products. With rewarded products, you can now sell items to a user by having them complete a monetizable action, for example, watching a video. Rewarded products is powered by our AdMob technology. But because it's now built into Play Billing, there's no extra SDK you have to integrate. Rewarded Products is currently in open beta. Next, let's talk about how we help you optimize your purchase experience. The Play console gives you tools and reports that help you convert your users into buyers and your buyers into repeat buyers. If you're a subscriptions developer, we give you tools to help you understand who's staying on your service, and for those who are leaving, why they might be leaving. Angela will share more about these subscription tools later. And finally, we make it effortless for you to earn money with your app. Instead of you having to build a payment flow from scratch, we do it for you. And because users now see a consistent payment experience throughout all of Play and all of their Play apps, they learn to trust our service. And research has shown that the more users trust a service, the more likely they are to pay. We store the user's payment information, so they don't have to enter their payment credentials over and over and over again. And because we store the information, you don't have to. Because after all, you don't want to have to worry about securing such sensitive information, do you? We take care of all the important details in over 100 markets around the world. For example, did you know that in the past 18 months, there have been a number of tax and regulatory changes in over 30 different taxing authorities? You probably didn't know that because we took care of those details for you. And that frees you up to doing what you do best, building a great user experience. So you probably already know about all these awesome things Play Billing does for you, so you're not here to listen to us rest on our laurels. So let's get to the good stuff. What's new with Play Billing? First off, Stephen will come up and share a number of exciting updates with the Play Billing library, the simplest way to integrate with our billing platform. After that, Angela will come up and share a number of new features on our subscriptions platform. Subscriptions is the fastest growing monetization model on Google Play. Stephen?
Thanks, Larry. Let's talk about what's new with the Play Billing library. To get started, let's quickly recap what the billing library is. It's an abstraction on the Android interface definition, or ADL, which was the previous way to integrate with Play Billing. It helps to enforce best practices and ensure you're implementing the API correctly. This provides the best experience for you and your users. And it greatly simplifies staying on the latest version. Instead of copying a bunch of reference code, you simply change your build target to the latest version, and you're good to go. Since our initial launch, we've gotten lots of great feedback on the Play Billing library. Developers who have adopted it into their apps have called it a dream come true. And we've already seen many of you successfully using it in production. We recently crossed $2 billion in transactions from apps using the Play Billing library. In short, it's the best way to integrate with Play Billing into your application. We want to continue to build on this success. That's why I'm so excited today to announce the Play Billing Library 2.0. It's chock full of new features to help you grow your business. First, we'll help you to access more users across more surfaces. We'll provide a choice of new business models to help you maximize your existing revenue streams and to explore new ones. We're providing new APIs to help you understand more about your purchases, as well as adding tools to help you monitor in real time. And finally, we'll cover how we're making all of this available now and in the future to make things easy and predictable. First, let's dive into how we're helping you expand your access. Earlier, Larry mentioned that we've expanded to over 170 carrier partners worldwide. But that's not the only payment method we're expanding. Today, we're launching support for an entirely new class of payments that we're calling pending transactions. Unlike traditional forms of payment, like credit cards, which can be authorized immediately, delayed payment methods require the user to take some additional step in order to complete the transaction. So let's take a look at this in action. In this purchase flow, you can see the user has chosen to complete this transaction at their local SAL convenience store. Instead of the normal tap to buy button, the user is given a payment code which they can use to finish the purchase. They simply take the code to the nearby convenience store in order to finish the payment. And once they pay, the transaction will be marked complete, and their fabulous Yak adventure will be underway. So now you've seen how a delayed transaction would work. Examples of delayed transactions include cash and bank transfer, such as direct debit and net banking. Cash is available today to top up in Japan and Mexico, and we're expanding to in-app purchasing soon. By implementing Billing Library 2.0, you get access to these and all other delayed payment methods absolutely free. It just works. We're also expanding the surfaces where you can engage with your users to purchase your content with support for out-of-app subscription signups. We work together with you to surface your subscriptions directly on your store listing page and allow users to subscribe and install your app in a single, seamless flow. And we're not just thinking about subscriptions here. We'll also be bringing this out-of-app experience to in-app purchases. Imagine, for example, being able to sell a special game pack directly on your Live Ops page. We want to offer your content to your users where it's most convenient for them. This includes Android TV, Google Assistant, Search, and Google Home, just to name a few. Angela will be going into more details on this feature in a little bit. Now, as we expand to more surfaces with out-of-app purchases, we want to make sure both you and your users continue to have a smooth transaction experience between finishing a purchase and getting their content. To help facilitate this, we've added functionality to allow you to acknowledge all purchases with the Google Play Billing Library or through the Google Play Developer API. This gives Google a signal that you have successfully granted a purchase made in-app or out-of-app, to your user. If the user claims they never received a purchase, we now have a definitive signal to verify this. We can also automatically fix any purchase which was made but never received in order to reduce the number of users who have a bad purchase experience. Out-of-app purchases and purchase acknowledgement work hand in hand to give you access to a wide array of new purchase services, simultaneously ensuring your users always have a good purchase experience, no matter what they buy or where they bought it. Next, let's talk about some of the new choices of monetization that are available in the billing library. We know that promotional and limited time pricing can be big drivers of purchase conversion. Until now, we haven't offered you the ability to tell us about those promotions. Now we're extending the API to support returning both original and promotional prices to your app. And when we can show the promotion directly in the play-by flow. This means users will get a consistent experience or a consistent offer between your app and our cart. We've also added support for custom SKU icon, and we plan to continue expanding this feature to support even more consistency between your app and our buy flow. We're currently testing this feature and plan to make this more widely available soon. So next, let's talk about some of the intelligent new features we've added to Billing Library 2.0 to help you optimize your integration. First, we've made optimizations to render the purchase screen more quickly. As we all know, latency is the conversion killer. And in search, for instance, we found that an additional 500 milliseconds of latency can cause as much as a 20% reduction in traffic and revenue. Last year, we launched a feature to cache and instantly serve the cart, as you see on the right side of the screen. However, today we're only able to offer this experience about half the time. With Billing Library 2.0, we've refactored the API to ensure that you get the zero latency purchase at no additional cost to you. It will result in a better experience for your users and increased purchase conversion for you. Next, we've revamped the developer payload to allow you to attach your own data to any purchase made in app. This can be used in many ways. For instance, you can attach data about experiments that we're running for an A/B test, or you can attach information about an encrypted user identifier to associate a purchase to a user. However you choose to utilize the feature, it's now available in Billing Library 2.0, and it can be attached while consuming or acknowledging any purchase. Now, by show of hands, how many of you have ever shipped a bug to production? Okay, so about half of you raised your hands, and the other half of you are probably in denial. We all know that bugs happen. The best way to handle them is to make sure that when they do, you can quickly diagnose and recover. To that end, we've greatly improved the error code and debug messages that are available in the library. Instead of returning a generic error code, we now expand the API to return specific granular error messages for each class of exception. This change will help you minimize your debug time and get things back up and running quickly. So now that we've covered a lot of the great new updates available in Billing Library 2.0, let's talk about how we're changing the release process to make it effortless to stay up to date. We've heard from you that our current release process has some areas for improvement. First, releases are ad hoc and unpredictable. This leads to confusion on when you need to be updated to the latest version. Further, there are 2 ways to integrate with Play Billing. We haven't previously defined an official best practice, so it's hard to know which one you need to use. We know we can do better here. That's why starting today, we're excited to announce a predictable yearly release cadence. Every I/O, starting with this one, will be releasing a new major version of the library. Each release will contain the latest features and API changes to ensure you have access to everything you need to keep your monetization strategy at the cutting edge. We're also announcing that the billing library is now the official way to integrate with Play Billing. Going forward, these releases are intended to be effortless to adopt into your app by simply updating to the latest version with your build target each year. So you'll know when updates are coming, so you can plan your roadmap around this predictable release. Of course, no talk would be complete without a note from the lawyers. So as a reminder, any of our roadmap features are just that, a roadmap. This should not be construed as a guarantee of future releases. I think I've done my diligence. But we know that simply releasing a new version of the library every year isn't the whole story. Current versions of the API have an unpredictable support window, which means you don't know when you need to update to the latest version. We think predictability is really important, and that's why starting today, we're announcing the deprecation of previous integrations with Play Billing, ADL, and Billing Library 1.x. But further, we're announcing that this predictable and consistent deprecation and sunsetting schedule. Each year, the API version will advance by one. As we mentioned, a new major release at each I/O. Within 1 year following each major release, new apps and app updates will need to target the latest version of the billing library or higher. So each release will continue to be supported for an additional year to give you time to integrate to the newest version. And again, going forward, this process is meant to be very lightweight. Simply change the build target to point to the latest version, and you're good to go. So here you can see the 2-year life cycle of each major version of the billing library. And because we are announcing a new release cadence, we want to make sure you have plenty of time to migrate your existing integration. Whether you're currently using ADL or Billing Library 1.x, we're giving the full 2 years for you to migrate your integration. Next year, you can see the plan to release Billing Library 3.0, which will be supported as well for 2 years. And 2 years from now, you can see that Billing Library 2.0 will reach its end of life, and all new apps and app updates should be using Billing Library 3.0 by that time. This release and support cadence will continue each year going forward, with each I/O featuring a new major release being available, each release being available, and releases from 2 years prior no longer being supported for new apps or app updates. And again, the lawyers do need me to remind you that this is just a roadmap. So as you can see, we've added a lot of great new features to Billing Library 2.0. There's new ways to pay, new purchases to surface from, new models to monetize. And this is all brought to your users faster with improved debuggability and experimentation. And the predictable release and support window allows you to plan your roadmap to keep your app up to date. A Java version of the library is available right now at g.co/play/play billing library, and C++ and Kotlin are coming soon. If you're interested, send us an email at these so we can get you on the list. Now let me hand it off to Angela to cover what's new with subscriptions.
Thanks, Stephen. So you just learned how the billing library gives you access to more users, different choices with your monetization models, with an optimized offering, and all in an effortless way. And now I want to deep dive into one of the fastest growing monetization models we have, subscriptions. So just a show of hands, who here currently offers subscriptions in their app or are planning to? Wow, that's like a lot of you. That's like 3/4 of you. So we've been talking about subscriptions here at Google I/O for a few years now. And that's because users continue to love subscriptions. They love it as a way to try out new services while having the flexibility to cancel whenever they want. And because users love subscriptions, our business also continues to grow. Between 2016 and 2018, developers like you have earned 4 times more revenue from subscriptions. Now, you might think, this might just be from all the big developers getting bigger. I mean, we can't all make a Game of Thrones, right? But guess what? The number of apps with at least 10,000 subscribers also grew 4 times in the same time period. And so what that's telling us, it's not the big developers getting bigger. It's our entire ecosystem getting bigger, with more developers like you successfully offering and selling subscriptions. So how can Google help you grow even more? Today I'm going to cover the new capabilities we built in the subscriptions platform to help you reach new subscribers as well as retain them. So let's start with reach first. Today, all subscriptions are sold in-app. And you might think, well, obviously subscriptions are sold in-app. But consider this probably very familiar situation. A user installs your app, they get to a paywall, they're like, I don't know what this is. So then they uninstall your app and post a 1-star review on your store listings page. And they've never even tried your app. Or consider this other familiar situation. A user is using your app for years, using the free content, and they never even realized that you had a subscription with all this amazing content behind it. And so what if we could help you surface your subscription earlier and maybe help the user subscribe earlier too? So I'm super excited to announce today, Subscribe and Install. This is a new feature to help the user discover that your app has a subscription, subscribe directly from the Play Store, and then we will auto-install your app in the background. How does this work exactly? Well, you tell us which SKU you would like to feature on your store listings page. We'll offer this SKU and change the button where the user installs. If it's a free trial, we'll say free trial and install. And when the user clicks the button, they'll be asked to buy the subscription. And when that's successful, then we will auto-install the app in the background. Now, as Stephen mentioned earlier, this does require the new billing library. We've been running an EAP for subscribe and install for the last few months with over a dozen developers, and we've seen some amazing results. We've seen an average of 34% increase in paid subscribers. And keep in mind that this is actually after the free trial. In fact, photo editor app PixArt tried subscribe and install, and they saw an increase in both free trials as well as free trial conversions. So speaking of free trials, again, are a super common way for you to acquire new users. Over 70% of new subscriptions are actually coming from a free trial. But today, free trials are kind of one size fits all. When you set up your subscription SKU, either everybody on that SKU gets a free trial, or nobody gets a free trial. But so what if you want to be more targeted? For example, what if you want to offer a free trial only to users who churned 6 months ago? So I'm super excited to announce promotion codes for subscriptions. In the Google Play console, you'll be able to generate one-time promotion codes. It's super simple. You tell us how many promotion codes you want, and we'll give you a bunch of one-time codes in a CSV for you to distribute to your users via email, via in-app purchase, or other channels that you can reach the user. And so how it works is if the SKU doesn't have a trial, users with a promotion code will get a trial. If the SKU already has a trial, then those users will actually get an extended free trial. So this is great for targeting specific sets of users. Imagine if you can send a promotion code to a user who just abandoned your buy flow, or to a user who churned after never having engaged in your most primary feature in your app. So that was the new acquisition tools within subscriptions. But once you acquire subscribers, of course, you need to retain them. And so let's dive into the new features within retention. Today, when a user says, I'm going to manage my subscription, what they really mean is they're going to cancel your subscription. And frankly, there's not much else they can do once they get to the subscription center. And as a result, some users tell us when they're canceling, I'm just canceling because I needed a break. Or I'm canceling because I can't afford the subscription this month, but I'll be back next month. Guess what? Some of those users don't come back. Some of those users forget. And so I'm happy to announce that now you can let your users pause their subscription instead. When you enable pause on the Google Play console, we'll surface a prompt in the cancel flow asking the user if they would rather pause instead of canceling their subscription. Users can also pause directly from the subscription center for up to 3 months on a monthly subscription. This is a great way to save on potential churners, especially for users who are leaving temporarily. So let's dive into a specific case study. Brazilian medical app PedMed integrated with Pause, and they saw an immediate voluntary churn reduction of 24% with very little integration work. This is a great result. Now, because I have to deliver a message from our lawyers, your mileage may vary. This is just a case study. So how do you know if Pause is going to work for you? Well, last year, we announced a cancel survey that we would show when the user is canceling their subscription. But this was only available via the API. And so that made it difficult for many of you to be able to aggregate those results and make sense of the information. So now we've built new reporting in the Google Play console. You can access these reports in the cancellation reporting section. You'll be able to see both the aggregated fixed responses and to look at trends over time, as well as download a CSV of the free-form responses users put in when they answered other. Both of these together should give you actionable insights for why users are leaving and how you can improve your app to keep them. In fact, language exchange app Tandem used the cancellation survey to identify and implement new pricing optimizations. Brain training app NeuroNation found out that through the cancel survey that 1/3 of their users were churning due to cost-related reasons. And as a result, they're now thinking about new win-back strategies using real-time developer notifications. So I encourage you all, please open your console and check out the new cancellation reports. What you see might surprise you. Ultimately, it's going to give you a better understanding of who your users are and why they're leaving. So we've talked a lot about voluntary churn. Let's talk involuntary now. So involuntary churn is when a user churns due to payment issues. For example, your credit card got stolen, or your carrier billing has a low balance. This is a super common reason why users churn from subscriptions, and it absolutely can be addressed, sometimes with even dramatic impact. So we currently offer a feature called Grace Period, which you can set to 3 or 7 days. And right after a payment decline, you will give access to the subscription to the user for 3 or 7 days, while in the background, Google's retrying the user's payment method. But why is grace period only 3 or 7 days? For a lot of you, it might actually be worth it to give the user a little bit more time in your app in exchange for extending that retry window we have to recover the payment. And so we've released 2 new options for grace period, 14 and 30 days. Both of these will give you a longer retry window so that you can reduce your involuntary churn. And the best thing about this is there's no integration required. It's just checking a box. So let's recap what's going on in subscriptions. We've announced 5 new features to help you both reach new subscribers as well as retain your existing subscribers. The features in bold are available today, while the others are coming soon. Now let's hand it back to Larry.
Thanks, Angela. Phew, OK, that was a lot of stuff to remember. So let me go through a quick recap of what you just heard today. We're giving you additional access to reach new buyers by adding a new capability of supporting delayed payment methods, where the user can now leave your app and go complete their transaction, possibly with cash or bank transfers. We're letting you start selling items outside of your app. So for example, via subscribe and install, where they can sign up for your subscription directly from the store listings page. We're improving the choices that you have in how to monetize. We'll now consistently reflect your promotional offer in our purchase flow. For subscriptions developers, we're adding a new acquisition tool by extending promotion codes to subscriptions. And we're helping subscriber retention with new tools such as subscription pause and longer grace periods. We're giving you new tools to help you optimize your purchase conversion. We're bringing developer payload to the billing library now, so you can add metadata to your purchases to do further analysis and experimentation. And once you've integrated with the billing library, you should start seeing faster or improved purchase conversion because the purchase flow now completes more quickly. We're going to help you launch faster with improved error codes. And now subscription developers can understand better why your users might be leaving with the new cancel survey reports. And lastly, we're making it effortless to keep up with all of our changes. By integrating with the Play billing library, you now will have confidence that you're always getting the latest and greatest version of our billing API. To learn more about Play Billing, come visit our team located over in the Android Sandbox and also over in the Gaming Garage. And drop by our office hours if you have specific questions tomorrow at 9:30. You can also visit this URL to get more information about everything we just talked about. And Steve and Angela and I will be outside right afterwards, right outside the front doors if you want to chat with us. That's it. Thanks for coming to our session. Please enjoy the rest of I/O.